Bright Duty. Every student matters.
Hello students. So we're going to start with the chapter Introduction to Graphs. So in our previous chapters we have discussed about bar graph, double bar graph, then we discussed about the circle graph or the pie graph, right? Or we say that as pie chart. Okay, and we have discussed about histogram. In this chapter the new thing to learn is linear graph. Okay, how do we draw a linear graph? That we are going to learn here, and what is the information that is depicted by it. So let us recapitulate as we have done all of this in our chapter data handling. So what is a bar graph? As seen here from the picture, as seen from this diagram, or I say there is a graph given. Here it is first, second and third term. The horizontal line shows us the three terms, first term, second term and third term. And on the vertical line, what is shown? Marks in mathematics. So these are marks of a student in mathematics in first term, in second term, in third term. First term the marks scored are 25. The second term marks scored are 30. And in third term the marks scored are 45, right? So whenever we have to do some comparison, we have to show a trend, then we use these bar graphs, right? Now giving you an example of double bar graph, what did we do in double bar graph? We were making two rectangular bars, right? These are known as bars. So these are all of equal width but different heights. Different height shows the different values. Suppose here this dark grey color, that is showing Monday, and the another one, the lighter one, shows Tuesday. So here are the fruits written: mango, apple, orange, papaya and banana. On the vertical line, what we are showing? Sales in kilogram, like it is 0 kilogram, 5 kilogram, 10 kilogram, 50 kilogram and up to so on. So this double bar graph is showing us a comparison between Monday and Tuesday, the sales of different fruits. So on Monday, that is the first one, the sale of mango was the first one is mango. The sale of mango is, just see here, it is 15. Just see, we have a gap of 5. So 15 plus 2.5, it will be 17.5. So 17.5 kilogram on Monday, and on Tuesday if we see, just see, it is here 22.5, right? So the comparison between the sales is shown, and of different fruits, like for mango, for apple, for orange, papaya and banana, we can compare now, right, on which day the sales was maximum, that we say, or of which fruit the sale is maximum, that we see of orange it is maximum and it is 35 kilogram, and it is on Tuesday, right, not on Monday. So like this we can compare and different information from the graph. Graph is making to read the data, to interpret the result easy for us. Okay, so these are double bar graphs. Now discussing about the pie chart or pie graph or so-called circle graph. We used to make a circle and used to calculate the different information in terms of percentage, like out of this complete 100%, 50% entertainment, sports 25%, news 15%, informative 10%. That means these are the names of channel, I would say, types of channel that are being watched by. So 50% entertainment channel, 50% of the population is watching entertainment channel, 25% watches sports, 15% news and 10% informative, right, like discovery and all. So this is giving us another information in terms of this circle graph. Okay, then comes histogram. As we discussed in histogram, there would be no spaces left in between. The bars are just adjacent to each other, right? Okay, what does this show here? This is known as a kink, right, or a break line. Okay, what does it show? Or we call it as a zigzag line. So this is shown here because we are missing some values here. We are not showing those values. Just see 40, 45, 45 to 50. So before 40, 35 would be there. Before 30, 30 would be there. Before 30, 25. So 0 to 35, those values are not shown here. Those are missing here. That this, to show that gap, the missing gap, we are showing here this kink, Okay, and on the vertical line there are number of persons, on the horizontal line there is a weight given. So just see 40 to 45, the number of persons are 4. That means number of persons between the weight 40 to 45 kilogram is how much? 4. So just see, the first bar shows 4. The second 45 to 50 shows 12. The number of persons is 12. 50 to 55 is 13. 55 to 60 it is 6. And 60 to 65 it is 5. Right? So like this the information is depicted in the histogram. I hope this makes sense to you and is clear. Now we are going to start with a new thing, that is a linear graph. Okay, a linear graph displays data that changes continuously over periods of time. Right? That means it is not going to be constant. It keeps on changing. Either there would be increase or there would be decrease. Right? So here if you see there is a table given. Time is given like at 6 a.m. the temperature is 37 degrees centigrade or Celsius. Then at 10 a.m. it is 40. At 2 p.m. it is 38. At 6 p.m. it is 35. Now we have to represent this in the form of a linear graph. So how do we do that? Just see here. On the horizontal line, time is shown 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Right? Now on the on the vertical line, there is a temperature shown. So we are starting up with 30 because the first temperature that we have is 37, and we are taking a gap of 2 to 30, 32, 34, 36 like this. Okay, now just to see this, so this will be 31, this will be 33 like this will be 35, this will be 37, this will be 39, and this will be 41. So this is the temperature. Okay, and here it is the time. Now at 6 a.m. the temperature was 37 degree, right? So it is shown here with the dot. Now at 10 a.m. the temperature is 40, at 2 p.m. the temperature is 38, and at 6 p.m. the temperature is just see 35. So we have represented these points as dots. Now what we will do, we will join these points and it will be like this. After joining, the graph is like this, and this is known as a linear graph, right? Or line graph we say. What is this? A linear graph. So what we need to do, we just have to represent the information in terms of dots, by the dots, and just join them. Now just to see, between 10 to 2, okay, like at 11 or at 12 or at 1, I am not given the temperature in the table, but I can say between 10 to 2 the temperature was more than, just to see here, this is 37, right? So it is between at 10 it is 40, and at 2 it is 38. So the temperature is between 38 to 40, right? We can say that, like, or also we can say that between 2 to 6 the temperature is not given, but we can say the temperature is around which value from this graph, right? So this gives us more clarity about the data, about the information. Now what are we going to do? We are going to learn how do we read the graphs. So there is a graph given, as you can see here. There are two batsmen, batsman A and batsman B. The horizontal line shows you the number of matches, or the first match, second match, third match, like this. And the vertical line is showing you the runs scored by both the batsmen. So here are the things that are to be answered by us. The first one says, just see, represents the total runs scored by two batsmen A and B during each of the 10 different matches in the year 2007. So there were 10 matches that were there in the year 2007, and we have to study the graph and answer this. The first one, what information is given on two axes? So we can say on the horizontal axis the information is given about the matches. So the answer to the first part will be, the horizontal axis represent the matches, whether it is first match, second match, it gives information about the match. And the vertical axis gives us information about the runs scored in a particular match, right? This would be the answer for the first part. So the answer for the first part would be, the horizontal axis represent the matches and the vertical axis represent the runs scored in that match. In a particular match, how many runs are scored? Now the second question that is asked here is, which line shows the runs scored by batsman A? So you see, for batsman A, the line taken is the dotted one. So the dotted line represent the marks scored by batsman A. The next question is, were the run scored by them same in any match in 2007? If so, in which match? So let us see if there is any match in which the runs is same by both of them. So here we see it is different here, then the next match also it is different. Okay, this value is same, the dotted line as well as for the solid line. So the dotted line is for batsman A, the solid line is for batsman B. So 60 is the run that is same scored in which match it is? We see it is the fourth match. So we can say in the fourth match the runs scored by both of the batsmen are same and it is equal to 60 runs. Clear? The next is among the two batsmen, who is steadier and how do you judge it? So you see here, look carefully. For batsman A, yes, batsman A has scored highest runs, right? He has scored the highest runs, like it has the highest peak here. Dotted line has a highest peak here, but he has even scored, just to see here, 0 runs in 2 matches. In third and ninth match, he scored 0 runs. Also, the runs scored in 3 matches or 2 matches, I would say it is just 20, right? In comparison to this, batsman B has never scored 0 runs. Yes, the peak is not that high, but it is average, right? He has not scored too less or too high, but he has not even scored even once. He hasn't scored 0 runs. So who is steadier and who is more consistent? Batsman B. Clear? Okay, so I hope this question is clear. Let's discuss one more question. Then now one more graph is given to us. This is the graph and it describes the distance of a car moving from a city P at different times when it is traveling from city P to city Q, which are 350 km apart. So the total distance between the city P and city Q is how much? It is 350 km. So we have to study the graph and answer the following questions. So let us just have a look on the graph first. Here is the graph. We see time is given and the distance from P is given in kilometers to Q. Right. So the time at 8 a.m. you see here there is a kink given. Why is this given? Why is this break line given? Because we are not showing the time 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. up to 7 a.m. That's why it is shown here for those missing values. Okay. Now starting from 8, just see at 8 it is at a 0, that means initial position. It started at 8 a.m. and from 8 to 9, at 9 a.m. the car is at which place? It is at 50 km. It has traveled 50 km. So like this we have to answer now. Just see the questions. First is what information is given on 2 axes. So we may call it as horizontal axis or x-axis, and we call this as y-axis or the vertical axis. So we say the horizontal axis gives the information about the time and the vertical axis gives the information of the distance covered, right? Second question is, from where and when did the car begin its journey? So see, the car began its journey at from the city P, right, at 8 a.m. At which 8 a.m. it started, and from where? From P. So this is the answer to the second question. Third question, if we see here, how far did the car go in the first hour? That means in the first hour, from 8 to 9. From 8 to 9, it was at 8 a.m. at 0 km we see, right? It did not start, and after 8 it started and it has reached to 9 a.m. and how much is the distance traveled? 50 km. So in the first hour, the distance traveled is 50 km. Now in the second hour and the third hour also we have to tell the distance covered or how far did the car go. So in the second hour, just to see, second hour is 9 to 10. So from 50 it has reached to 150. So 150 minus 50. How much distance did it travel in the second hour? In the second hour, 100 km it has traveled, and 10 to 11. From 150 to 200 it covered 50 kilometers more. Clear? In the third hour, 50 km. Clear? Now, The next question is, was the speed same during the first 3 hours? How do you know it? So just see, in the first hour it covered 50 kilometer. In the second hour it covered 150 kilometer. That means it is there at 150 kilometer. That means it covered 100 kilometer. And in the third hour it covered 50 kilometers. So the speed is not same. It is different. Right? The time taken is same, but the distance covered is different. So speed is different in this case. Right? Next question. It is asking, did the car stop for some duration at any place? Justify your answer. So when we see in the graph, we see from 10 to from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Just to see this portion, there is no increase in speed. It is steady. It is constant, right? And it is a straight line. So here the car is not moving. It is at the same. That means the car is the person who is going, or we say the car did not move from 11 to 12. So yes, it did not move from 11 to 12 at any place. It did not cover any distance. So yes, the car was stopped there for 1 hour. Okay. Now the next part is, when did the car reach city Q? So you see 350 kilometer it has to cover, right? So at 2 it is reaching 350 kilometer, you see, at 2 p.m. So at which time the car is reaching? 2 p.m. The car has covered 350 kilometer and reached the city Q. Clear? So I hope now how to read the linear graph, or I say line graph, is pretty much clear from these two examples.